Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are discussing AC Valhalla's second DLC, the first official, buy this one, Wrath of the Druids, which just came out, and we finished up on the Twitch stream. Took us about 3 days to get through it, and I wanted to make a quick thoughts review video to kind of let you guys know my thoughts on it and if you should maybe buy it or not. If you guys do enjoy this video while you're watching it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if this is your first time here seeing me. My name is Drnkie. Welcome to the channel, and of course, just comment down below and let me know what you guys think about AC Valhalla's Wrath of the Druids, and if it was worth it to you, and if you enjoyed the story and all that. All right, so let's get into it. So this is the first DLC that they released that's like an official DLC that's not just kind of a tacked on add-on in my mind, right? We had river raids, which was like fine, but it really was just about the raid part, and that's kind of a narrow aspect of what AC Valhalla really was about. And to be honest with you, I wasn't that big of a fan of the river raids. But in Wrath of the Druids, this is the first, we're leaving the continent, well, not the continent, the country of England, and we're heading over to Ireland, where we have a full new story, a full new land to explore, and it's just, first off, graphically, this thing is amazing. It's just so gorgeous to be in Ireland. One of my Irish viewers, Finto182, he was telling me that this feels like the first game that we've ever actually been in Ireland, which is really kind of a cool thing to experience. So there's a couple other games that did like little things here and there, but definitely like a medieval Ireland where you can just see the natural beauty of the land without, tons of cities all over the place, just kind of some castles that fit the land. It was an experience, dude. I really enjoyed that when you first get there, you just land in Dublin, and just artistically, it is gorgeous. I think one of my favorite things about the Valhalla series, or the AC series, and where they're going with it being open world, is the high level of graphics that we're getting, because this is one of the most beautiful games you can look at, and just how much you can see. It's really striking when you do your synchronizations now, and you're seeing things like 1,000 meters away, like way off in the distance. You see mountains and castles, and just it's the scale of it graphically just feels amazing. The tone of the Irish lands was just gorgeous. Where England was a lot more run down, there was a lot of parts in this one that kind of felt a little bit more I don't know, mystical. Like they had like fireflies coming through. Like you can see where they get all this like Druid stuff, because the land is just crazy, especially all the rock formations that they made, the ones they designed. Like it's just all over, like graphically, like this thing is a stunner. So let's talk about the gameplay a little bit. This is pretty much just a continuation of everything that AC Valhalla did, which I kind of think they did well. The only thing that I hate, and this is just a critique about Valhalla overall, is just its RPG systems are a little bit boring. You have the rune system, of course, to change up stuff, but overall, you find all the new armor pieces did not feel that appealing to me versus the one that I got in the base game. So I just ended up using the armor that I got in the base game, and I just changed the appearance on that. And so from an RPG standpoint, it really makes this game feel boring, because it doesn't feel like I'm getting new weapons and armors that I want to use. It doesn't feel like I'm upgrading stuff as I'm going along. It's basically just, Assassin's Creed without the RPG. Is just the story elements, and it's kind of missing that part. That part of the gameplay is missing. They do have a continuation of their skill tree that I don't think really serves it well. There's a couple of new abilities and a new way but there's no like new branch to spec into. There's no huge thing that's going to blow your mind. It's just a couple more abilities. It's just kind of more of the same. And while it's a DLC, and that's to be expected, when you have a 10 to 15 hour DLC and there's not much depth in the RPG systems, it kind of just feels more boring than it should. This DLC felt more boring than Valhalla because of that, right? When it comes to the story, I love the story. I thought it was great. We have a cousin who is, part of our family, and we head over there because he's trying to become the king of Dublin and do all his thing. And of course, you introduced another, king figure that you're serving, and then you got Kara, who's a cool love interest who kind of, has ties to the story. Like there's a lot of really good connections and a lot of good story here, except for the fact that this is just kind of the AC story that we know about now. It feels like we're not ever covering new ground in Assassin's Creed. They just find a way to fit their story arcs into history, right? Where you have like a big king figure, and then you have a big religious figure, and what do you know? The big religious figure is the one who's like betraying you and not what he seems. It feels a little dated. I know when you're looking at history, there's not much you can do, I guess. But it feels a little obvious about where all these stories are gonna go, right? I guess the big twist with Kara was like the only thing that I didn't see coming. Spoiler, sorry about that, but if you're here, yeah. There is a twist. It's not like a huge one. You do see it coming. The one thing I will say about the story is that it also gets spoiled for you because of the way they do the cultist missions. I don't know who at Ubisoft is making decisions on the cultist menus, but you got to stop showing us what these people look like, because I click on it to go look at the clues and I know the silhouette of the person, so now I know 100% know where the story is going, and there's no surprises. When it comes to the side stories of this game, there's like, a little bit here and there, but nothing too special. I think one of my biggest critiques about Valhalla overall, and it just carries on the DLC, is that the side quests like really don't matter that much. There's one big side quest in the game that does, give you a new weapon and affect stuff, and it ties in. But overall, there's just so much land and there's so much building and story that can be told inside of all this vast spaces. Like, think Skyrim, right? Like, even the tiniest cave in Skyrim had like a really compelling story inside of it. You find a ring that has a story behind it because it's someone's wedding. Like, there's just all this stuff that you could do with this much room in open world, and it's just kind of lost to us by Ubisoft, because I feel like they're just trying to get content out there without spending time on crafting stuff, right? So I do feel like the land feels a bit dead story-wise, only because you're just focusing on your main mission, and everyone else who's not inside of that main mission really doesn't matter. I think Ava, is it Agar? No, what's her name? The main lady for this game, who knows Hytham, right? She feels like she's kind of underused. She's there for you to do trading quests. She's from the East, right? So you'll know who I'm talking about. I forget, it's Azur. She feels just underutilized in this entire story. She's there for you to trade with, and then she has like one quest line once you get all those trading things done and you get one experience with her. It just feels a little shallow, where she maybe should have been involved in the overall story just a little bit more. It just, everything about this game just feels kind of shallow. Like, for a game that is so graphically impressive and feels like it has so much promise because of how much you can see and do, everything else just feels a little bit surface level, and I wish they would take the story deeper at all parts. So overall, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Wrath of the Druids, if you enjoyed Valhalla, you're going to dig this. It's about a 10 to 15 hour DLC. It doesn't feel as bloated as the old game. But when you're playing through it, it feels lacking because they're not really tying this thing into the overall Assassin's Creed world. There's nothing to do with the Assassin's Guild. There's very little to do with the issue and technology. They don't even really address it like that. It kind of feels like a weird thing that when you see certain things happen in this DLC, Eivor doesn't address it like he knows more about the world now than he did at the beginning of Valhalla, right? It just kind of feels weird like that. So, is this game important to the overall AC story? No, you're not going to, get any more out of this DLC. So you can miss this one if you're looking to stay up to date with everything that's going on in AC story. Overall, I'd probably give this DLC a 7 out of 10. Graphically, it's fun. I enjoyed a lot of Valhalla. Like, it was a good game for me, and so I enjoyed that they just continued all those mechanics and all those gameplay elements into it. But it's a 7 out of 10 for me. The story is a little lacking. The gameplay mechanics feel a little shallow. The RPG systems just aren't there. But if you enjoyed Valhalla, and if you want, you're looking for more content, you want like 10 to 15 more hours of gameplay, I think this is worth the buy. But if you were on the fence about Valhalla, you could probably skip this one and not really miss out. All right, that is it for our review or a quick thoughts and mini review about AC Valhalla's first DLC, Wrath of the Druids. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it helped you out on making a decision on whether or not you should buy the game or kind of skip it. Let me know what you think about this review, or what you thought about Valhalla down in the comment section below. Leave a thumbs up here if you enjoyed the video, or a thumbs down to let me know that I need to do better on the next one, all right? And I'll see you guys on that next video. You guys have a good rest of your day. Bye, everybody. We're back home. Welcome back from Ireland, boys. Look at these. Look at these bad boys. Let me get in there. Look at these goons. The boys are back in town. Nice.